You say, Abranti bi, Papa bi, Agokore bi, your friend no, Samson Ayenini, Waka Semitia, Obeketia. No, I'm not going to do that. I am not. Why should I respond to Samson Ayenini? Because Samson Ayenini has a personal issue with me. It is not a national issue. You get what I mean? Me, what I can say in the say, oh, sure, Samson Ayenini, a hostie as news file. The show is basically dead. It's despicable, it's disheartening, and I know the management of multimedia, they know. We all know news files here. Now, right now, you sit on news file, there's nothing exciting about the host. He is flat. He cannot get involved in the conversation. He is not abreast of the issues. You see, it hurts me because since Samson Ayenini became the host of News File, the show has died. He's holding on to straws. He wants to use my name to become relevant. And Intina, I wouldn't sit here and spend so much energy on Samson Ayenini. His show, he cannot even handle the show. And management knows it's going on. Because look at this, man. So we'll call TV3. Now we'll share a key point show now. The guy who hosted, what's his name? Alfredo Kanze. Look at the number of people who watch him. See the presentation. Sometimes you are not even interested. You want to watch because he's involved. Because you could see he knows what he's doing. People are called on the show and they want to be there. But to look at Samson Ayenini, there's nothing exciting about him. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, please. No. And to me, if I'm a company, I will not take my money and go put on Newsfile. Newsfile is dead. It is gone. And he wants to ride on a young man like me, what I have built to become relevant. No, I'm not going to do it. He needs to bring his numbers up. If I'm a company and I'm on Newsfile, maybe I need to go somewhere else. Because with me tonight, whether MTN or whatever company is on Newsfile, when I put them on my show, 1 minute, the number of people they are going to reach, Samson Ayenini, 8 months, he cannot reach. So why would any company do such a bad investment? I'm being honest here. And I feel like Joy News, the better for them, no? You know, Joy News Multimedia is dying. And it was Newsfile that was holding this multimedia thing together. But Newsfile 2 is dead. It died the day this guy was put there. Because you can see clearly that when the panel is talking, he's not appealing enough. He himself as a person, he's not appealing. Let me tell you people, not everybody is suitable for TV. And this guy is a clear example of an ingredient that is not suitable for TV, especially when he has a stinking mouth. It's dangerous. And see, I wouldn't come and be like, Samson Ayenini, the show is done. Joy News Multimedia need to take him out. Because at this point, what is he adding to the show? The numbers keep dropping. The numbers keep dropping. You are not building anything. And multimedia is dying and dying. Go to Media General, Onuya TV, Onuya Krada Benebai. Onuya is making crazy numbers than Newsfile. Nobody goes on Newsfile. There's nothing there. He's not learning. He knows nothing. He's not appealing. And the guy is not appealing. And be truthful to yourself. May any serious company putting your money in Newsfile, you are just wasting your time. Because if you have 600 people watching you, and let's say realistically, 400 people are on phone watching you, 200 people are on TV watching you. Let's say 600 people watching on TV. Now, the number of people who watch on phone are plenty. So if you have 600, so you can see clearly that the guy has lost it. Multimedia should look at this. It is not about me. It is not about Kevin Taylor. It is not about somebody else. It's about what you do. Is what you do appealing? Are you bringing in the money to sustain the company? Is the credibility of this show still the same news file? Because if you don't take care, in the next 2-3 years, the show is going to die. And this guy has done whatever he could do. He's not appealing. His style of presentation is awkward. The guy is attractive. Everybody wants to watch. So, please, guys, multimedia, sit down and find a young, vibrant, appealing young man who is abreast of the issues and understand the new people coming. But this thing is an old sheep. This is what he's going to do. In his brain, he has learned some stupid law, so he thinks anyone who comes to the show is beneath him. But you can see clearly that this guy is daft. And so I'm not going to sit here and no. I am just going to help him understand that the city he's in, he has messed it up. One name or team, Mumpe will be a vibrant kakra, a young, handsome guy like me who is sharp. The guy is very slow. Samson is very slow. Why is Latobio question trotro? Kakran. He's slow. Guys, let's this is 2025. So multimedia, I know you people are talking behind the scenes. You know he's damaging the show. Just change him. I'm not going to like this. This guy has no numbers for me to fight him. So change him. MTN and the other people, you the advertisers, so Montana say, who are you reaching? You are reaching nobody. Halitosis. I'm sorry, but I can't banter you. We don't bond for me to have this back and forth with you. So I know multimedia will do that. Thank you very much, multimedia. Because they did not have an option. They also wanted to steal. Now, this gold board, the Ebenen say it is going to streamline how our gold basically is mined. It is going to give some legitimacy to it. You will be able to trace the gold. Through gold board, Ghana will get an LBMA that we can now start to ship our gold around the world. Because right now, you cannot trace Ghana's gold where it's coming from. There are so many people who are doing what? Who are smuggling gold out of the country because we cannot check it. All because we have too many agencies in Ghana who are doing the same thing but don't know what to do. MEF is giving money. PMMC has been giving money by Bank of Ghana. PMMC itself has money. So who is checking who? It is like we are all competing in the same market, and then who suffers? The small scale miner now, or Ghana. No? That is where the problem is. So now the gold board, what is it going to do? The gold board is going to eliminate that kind of fraud whereby we cannot trace our gold. The gold board is going to streamline into gold board that you may say, gold that Ghana, they have to be the only office that can sanction any gold that is mined, exported, and any gold that leaves this country. Their core responsibility is to now make sure gold na likifa your borders. India for, Pakistan for, any of them can likino, because somebody can carry so much gold in just a backpack and cross the Togo border. Do you know that? But when there are measures, there's only one agency that has the sole power to stop it from where it was mined. Nobody can take gold out of your borders. So their job leakages now. Emma small scale miners ebre. Emma their system no yen to the value of our gold, and we cannot get enough. The gold board that looks the same as cocoa board is going to stop it. And it's in there. You to meet now. You see a unkofobi a libo. The cocoa. We know say nobody has the right to take our cocoa out, and that is how the gold board, that is the job it is going to do. Now, I'm sure idea. Now you see this. Sorry. I mean, really, yankai adebuha. Now the gold board, objectives and functions of the gold board. Yanshe omo ejuman kasapoti gold board nebano. Ejuman ankasa. I mean, sure I couldn't tell gold board ni here. Now, to achieve this goal, the gold board shall regulate, oversee, monitor, and undertake the purchase, assay, refining, export, selling, other related activities concerning the gold resources of Ghana. More importantly, the gold board shall serve as a sole authority with the exclusive power to 1. Purchase and sell gold in Ghana through its licensed service providers, aggregators, and buyers. 2. Grade, assay, and value gold mined in, brought into, or exported from Ghana. 3. Export gold from Ghana and repatriate 100% of the trade forex in a timely manner. This will involve arrangements that accommodate export partnership with the private sector. Now, let's stop here. When you look at the functions of the gold board, it clearly states it there, say, they will purchase, they will sell gold in Ghana through its licensed service providers. You can call them aggregators and now say buyers. So what the gold board is going to do is say, the gold board is going to be the only office that gives license. Minerals Commission is not going to give license. The minister's office is not going to give license. PMMC's at the end of the day, basically the power of the gold board overshadows PMMC. So PMMC to me should be nullified. We don't need it. Bank of Ghana should not give anybody license. So the gold board will be the only office that gives license to legitimate companies to buy and sell gold to them. And see, what the gold board is going to do is say, Omunkwane license say, wo Sammy Kevin Taylor company, mo na mutumi to gold. So that we will not have the influx of different companies in the system, whereby some of them are buying the gold and taking it out of our borders. Into the main function, and they say they are going to purchase and sell gold through licensed aggregators or buyers. Into gold board, you know, what they will do, then they say, it is a PBC. On say cocoa board, I'm a PBC 2 mino. Says 2 mino, on the 2 me to talk cocoa. Now PBC, omon kon krasing go to cocoa. PBC o cocoa cratch form ni omu ye juma. Omunim some more license, some to talk cocoa ne mamo. And this is the same way gold board wants to run. So gold board, you know, and the Becca say, whoa, ya on kratem, we are legitimate. You have the right, get a license and buy gold. It's your own was and Himself Kevin Taylor and Co. Omuto Golda. They will go and sell their gold. Because those people are licensed, the only place they have to bring the gold is gold board. So now we are cutting out the chaff. We are getting the raw gold to our side. Now, at least when licensed companies are the ones buying the gold on the ground, they know that it is not blood gold. Because if you involve in those kind of things, your license will be taken from you. So strictness to, they will be adhering to the strict rules governing the buying of gold, and also the job that a gold board amomono, they know say if you fall short, your license is going to be taken from you. It's gold board the priority back no. Give license. Into that license now, akwanta mining, yakwaha, we lands commission, minerals commission, no akwadi license wa na minister, ni na so be tra. And as we tra, we will be able to monitor who can buy gold and who can sell gold in Ghana. Now, they also said, they will also grade, they will assay and value gold mined in, brought into, or exported from Ghana. Into gold board, Nejman say, gold be able to know Ghana, no, check the purity of the gold. They will check it. It's their responsibility. There will be no office that checks the purity of gold. There will be the ones to make sure, say, gold be a to Ghana. And now gold free Ghana, and now to Ghana, no. There will be the sole office to check that. You know, when you create one window for a product like gold and a mineral like gold, you are able to check traceability. You know where it's coming from and where it's going. That is the only way I'll bet me your LBMA license. Because then UK for better say, right now when we go to Ghana, we are going to gold board. We know say gold board is legitimate. We know say gold board is working with licensed buyers. We know say gold board, the people bringing the gold are not buying blood gold. Until now, no, the international market, no, might be open for Ghana to sell most of its gold. Now, almost like can be. My men sound found quite the same. People want to see. Over point 3 now say export gold from Ghana and repatriate 100% of the trade forex in a timely manner. This will involve arrangement that accommodates export partnerships with the private sector. The American United say gold board your ben say me catch them and them no say so be our license ya demand say on export gold or the gold call on 10,000 or 1,000 Ghana or betty 800 Ghana now or the 20 Ghana pay 200 Ghana pay abre. Now 200 Ghana no in Brana Dawes say 30 days any expect so this can be ba enti one first can amba within 30 days na dey be. Now gold board bar, what is going to happen is gold board is going to go sell the gold. And gold board in 1,000 Ghana, it comes straight to the Bank of Ghana, 1,000 Ghana, Ghana there. So gold board is going to bring in more forex. Because of forex, they are going to bring in straight dollars into the accounts of Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana was established by the Constitution. Into a mene wo dia sikebia beto Bank of Ghana biano a mene wo sika. Into gold board, is basically going to repatriate 100% profit straight up to Ghana. We don't have a third party. We don't have a businessman going to UK to say, my cotton gold no Dubai. Na minya say, I feel I'm 20%. Gold the better no Ghana say $10,000. A bar a $10,000 and the Bank of Ghana accounts. And that is the only way that we can turn the country's destiny. Now, the most interesting thing about this, and then they say, it is basically going to cut down illegal mining. Now, because at this point, so you're illegal mining now, Ghana, nobody's going to buy the gold. Because the person or the company that has been licensed to go out there buy a gold board to go buy the gold, they are not going to buy a illegal gold. That is why there's traceability. They are going to have equipment to monitor where the gold comes from. So it is going to, at the end of the day, people will be interested in doing more illegal mining. There will not be market for illegal mining gold. So at the end of the day, they will be forced to join the mainstream that is legitimate mining, a bit more protected and SARS. Into a we say, among for Omoto Coco and SARS, no Jaito, every Sauto Coco assassin, we illegal mining. You cannot prove to the buyer that this gold wasn't dug illegally or it wasn't dug by a child. And I say people did not die to get you this gold. Now people are forced to fall within the line to make sure say they are bringing the right gold. Into what they are doing, and they say indirectly illegal mining will slow down. It will slow down slowly. At a point it will dismiss because it will disappear. Sibia cocoa tieno. Say at a point na cocoa equiafoni be engine to say or see a joining a cocoa board, a cocoa board. But at a point, they did not have any option because the only place that you can get your cocoa sold, a cocoa board, and the price is good. They were forced to fall in line. They were forced to work with the government. That is why for a long time we were able to protect our gold. Now, because we allowed the foreigners to come in and almost started the galamsey, ever say and sasano. So this is the first step, making sure that people will not be interested in illegal mining. Because if you cannot prove where the gold is coming from, we are not going to buy the gold. And if you are not buying the gold, it means the work you are doing, you are not getting income, that work will collapse. Now the borders will be tightened. You cannot work out of Ghana with gold. No. Into the gold board, it's very, very important for Ghana as a nation, getting all our money back and also protecting our environment and stopping illegal mining. Now, consequently, upon the gold board commencing business, say na omobabe yomujuma. Almost say a person or body shall not purchase gold in Ghana except almost say obieni or individual bieni wa obetumiaka se otuto gold or Ghana. Almost say except the gold board or its subsidiary or branch or department or authorized officer. You see, it's a gold board in the bar. It is a cocoa board. It is a PBC. Say the cocoa cratch yaman and krata or jitum so betumato cocoa. Obieni Ghana obetuma soraka kaseme to gold. No, it is only gold board. Uncle for a gold board, amo authorization, amo mon krata, akachom sabu to me to gold. See, inti obin to me sorry kase me to gold. Because we need to know where the gold is coming from. We need to know who is buying the gold if it's coming from a legitimate place. Into first of all, a body or nobody can get up and say me to gold. You need to make sure say nipa bi obeto gold or Ghana biano has been authorized by the gold board. Now, 2, a person or organization licensed by the gold board to aggregate or buy gold as service provider for and on its behalf. I was say so be able to me ayden ato gold and I say with the gold wujuma. I was say gold board no am an license. Enti abeti se wo shaha ututo gold. When I was so gold purity near the idea. Obi betuma report on me actual. If you say uni license no, it is only licensed aggregators by the gold board and move to me ato gold. To me ayden I check gold. It me make sure say sa gold we are to free. So people cannot just set up anywhere in the corner. Because you see, a man for setting up small buying, no, and then a kofa galane buy, no. Because everybody thinks they can go do some small scale mining, destroy some water, and sell the gold to somebody. Now, if you don't get the buyer, it means where you are going to dig, you will stop. And that is the where this you are buying we per se, fast no limited galano, and making sure say you're saying for so you gold in the so. Now, oko asyawa. Or say, a person engaged in small-scale mining sector shall sell all the gold he produces or obtain only to the gold board or its licensed service provider. Almost say small scale miners or more Ghana. They have only one option. So Otu gold, legitimately. You can only sell to the gold board through its licensed agencies. You can be a legitimate small scale miner. So Otu gold a good dem pim. Na so one tongue through a legitimate licensed agency a gold board na mo kwana gold na be cow them. If you try to smuggle to your betcho. This is how we are going to be able to make sure say your gold, you to me at least 80% of gold you to know Ghana no. You to me access gold at home Ghana nya home faso. I'm a small scale miner no so enya edian gold no home faso. Oba will say all gold mined in or being exported from Ghana shall be assayed by the gold board. Gold bia you betu no Ghana bia no. I will say a code through gold board. No gold can go out of this country. Abra ain't checking the purity. Abra gold board ain't checking the purity. So would the gold free Ghana ha? Na your gold board stamped, purity checked. Sa gold no illegal. Any gold that will leave the shores of this country, sa gold gold board and check the purity of the gold. Sa gold is illegal and you can be arrested and jailed. Or say. All gold produced by the small-scale mining industry shall be exported by Gold Board. Gold bia yebetu no Ghana bia na Gold Board licensed agents atono. Gold bia ebefa Gold Board licensed agents mu aba gold ho no Gold Board nkwa and export gold to Ghana. Nobody is going to be given export license again. Nobody is going to be given export license in Ghana to go and export gold. People will be given license to buy gold on behalf of Gold Board. But nobody in Ghana will be given the license to go out, say, Mekoton Gold Wabruche. It is only Gold Board. Ghana Gold Wabruche. Meaning, Gold Board is the same as Cocoa Board. Meaning, now, Sikebia Yebeton Gold Wabruche biano 100% Sikana Saba back to Bank of Ghana. It does not go to any individual or shares. Everything will come straight back to the Bank of Ghana. So there will be no exporters again. The only exporter of gold in Ghana will be Gold Board. Oba will say, no person shall without lawful authority hoard gold except he is licensed by the Gold Board. So Gold Board about inception and I say you be a Gold Board now. Obi any Ghana or say or hoard gold. You guess what hoard gold with two gold they see them a tiamra. The moment you want to go, you need to sell it. Nobody has the right, Emrano. Nobody in Ghana will have the right to hoard gold. They are bad. It's gold to see them. You have to sell the gold because gold now say legitimately Obama licensed Gold Board agency ayamani to me to buy the gold. Until nobody has the right. Until right now no send they about show. That is a chairman won't to go to go pa o yin TV so it is a cocaine you bet to match. Yeah. And they be open na gold good them what is ma na went to prove why gold we good them you bet to match wako to jail and they say with the cocaine we asha with them if we say ya buying nkwana was say gold ban ho a buyer has to sell the gold in the name of Ghana. It is only the government. In this when you ready sell beton gold I mean to gold muntie when you ready sell beton gold meant to gold. So why you ready sell beton gold and out to gold. But when you ready sell ube to gold meant to gold because utu gold na also toma buying. And you see this within a year about 70% or 50% of Ghana ekaya deno. John Mahamani end this bit mas slash because in just 2024 gold yaton ya 11.55 billion dollars. Small scale miners in Kwa almost 6 billion. This almost 5 billion. This is not a joke. Now, have you also considered how many of these golds were smuggled out of Ghana? Meaning, the small scale miners in gold, about 90% or 20% of it was smuggled out of the country. by the Indians, by the Chinese, and by those people. It means that the small scale miners in to be producing 40% of the 11.55 billion. It means that they did more than 40%. It means the small scale miners legitimately, they can do more gold than the commercial guys. Yes. That is why we all have to understand, say, a gold board, it is important, very imperative for us to support the gold board that John Muhammad Yabano. It is a game changer. You get it? Our gold sector has no regulator. MEF Muska, PMMC Muska, Bank of Ghana Muska. They go into the system. Nobody's checking anybody. They are using their muscles. They are determining the price. They are bullying people. Now, small-scale miners are smuggling their gold because there's PMMC for the they determine the price. But Gold Board will give a price that every gold miner will agree to it. And at the end of the day, almost all mining gold, small-scale miners will get decent money. And that is the only way we can check your system. We can check our environment. Into license now. Minerals Commission, you be shining in amu. It is only Gold Board. When you're ready, say beton gold, I meant to gold. It's a simple thing. So when you're ready, say ube to gold, beton gold, meant to gold. Because at the moment I'll be to gold, so tongue. Now, I want to show you the difference between PMMC and the Gold Board. There are a lot of people saying, and I say PMMC, a Juma a Gold Board, but no, they are totally different. Gold Board, firepower. PMMC need firepower. And sometimes, it is a miracle and magic. Magic is for a short period, but miracle is forever. But when Jimmy, I want to say, you say magic and miracle are the same. The power that Gold Board has and their specifications, it is more of a firepower than PMMC. Into Ubusamia, Ankamia Jomahama, I will scrap PMMC. I will make Gold Board the only. Only cocoa board. That is what I will do. Now, Shadia, let's go and see the difference between PMMC and the Gold Board. Why we need Gold Board. You see this? Difference between the PMMC and Gold Board. Now, PMMC has no export functions or power. Gold Board will be the sole exporter of gold from small-scale miners. Into PMMC, only export power. They cannot export gold, but Gold Board will have export power. Now, Gold Board will be the sole exporter. Gold Board will export gold. So you see the difference between Gold Board and PMMC. PMMC, any power now Gold Board. Gold Board better export gold. Gold Board so Nkwani the only entity export gold. PMMC does not have that power. Into the power that the Gold Board comes with, it is more unique. That is why I was saying, making sure that Gold Board, it is the only institution manage your gold, your natural resource, especially to make sure say a baby. Now, the difference between PMMC and Gold Board. Now, PMMC has the right to buy gold, but that's not an exclusive right. Gold Board will be the sole authority with exclusive right to buy all the gold from small-scale miners. Also, PMMC, have the right to buy gold, but only exclusive rights or sole rights. To mean share. But Gold Board, exclusive right to buy every gold. And the PMMC what to me, Gold Board to me kesiye. So with them, it comes with a lot of firepower. It comes with a lot of definite. They come with just straightforward way of basically protecting the natural resource, especially gold. Inti Gold Board power ne kutano it is stronger. PMMC any two mixer. PMMC and said needs firepower to make sure say every single gold mined in Ghana they are able to take ownership of it and sell it in the name of Ghana for Ghana to make money. Now, difference between Gold Board and PMMC. PMMC is the national assayer by public policy. Gold Board will be the national assayer by law for all gold brought into or exported from Ghana, whether from small scale or large scale. Into PMMC, it's a national assayer by public policy. There's a policy, and PMMC is just a national assayer. What they do is they check the purity of gold before it's exported out. That is basically their job. But the Gold Board will be the national assayer. The difference is that the gold board takes more of a holistic look at the issue than the PMMC. PMMC is looking at the issue basically in the public eye, but the gold board is looking at the issue or assaying the gold or selling the gold as their, or buying the gold in a national form into one. They are the only people who can do export, and also whether from small scale or large scale. But PMMC cannot do that. PMMC just assays. And there is a vast difference between PMMC and gold board ejuma. Gold board ejuma looks more legit and solid. It looks like it has more future to protect a gold yetunu Ghana and the sale of the gold, the value chain. It looks like the gold board is the one that can do the job. Now, when you go down, it says this. PMMC is a self-financing company limited by shares. Into PMMC, and when the financing, the more shares you have, the more you make money out of PMMC. But when it comes to gold board, it will be a statutory corporation funded by the government. So gold board is a cocoa board. PMMC by shares, amount for the shares room and air running. By gold board, it's purely it is a Bank of Ghana. Gold board will be seen as it will be seen the same as cocoa board. Gold board a government. Into Sikebia gold board directly to Ghanaians. Nobody has shares in gold board money. Whatever revenue gold board gets, it's straightforward to Ghanaians. Bank of Ghana. We don't share our profit with anybody. There's nobody having shares in gold board. Gold board, the shares in it belong to every Ghanaian. Some people do not take decisions or decide the path of gold board. PMMC, people can decide its path, what they should do and what they should not do. But gold board, it is statutory. It is ECG. It is a cocoa board. It is a Bank of Ghana. It is a Emra and a Babeti gold board. Do you get it? Now, the final one. Currently, PMMC only works as an aggregator for Bank of Ghana. Right now, as I speak, the Bank of Ghana, ebesom to go da, PMMC ne kotoba omo. Bank of Ghana, Ghana mbra man who kwai man koto good and kasa direct. Into also Bank of Ghana tamsika, no dia ma PMMC. Na PMMC a market so no ma legitimate people. In this obi lead PMMC, e say a word akwana no lead PMMC no. Na se Bank of Ghana tamsika mana, okwana no akobie the companies. Now say oh media mama companies to good. Into every gold the companies buy, no, it is basically the profit is coming to him. That is the thing gold board is going to stop. Because Bank of Ghana tam sikama PMMC penyini na PMMC penyini betuma yehwe ne nkɔ for no diskana momo ana ono anka se betuma bie companies no aka se mo na mo kɔ to gold no infrastructure da so 5 cedis bia no $100 million mo fambre me. But at this point gold board bar sadie no will be out. Now gold board on the other hand will aggregate and buy gold for itself for direct forest generation for the government. Gold board would directly buy the gold and gold board will directly sell the gold, and gold board will bring the 100% forex dollars to Bank of Ghana. Finito. In this obika just say on pay gold board. Now gold board obi be wiesika metesen kwasiafo bika SKE Ibrahim Mahama company. Ibrahim Mahama, he does not buy gold. Ibrahim Mahama is a miner. How does Ibrahim Mahama comes into gold board issue? Ibrahim Mahama is not an aggregator. He is not a gold buyer. Ibrahim Mahama does not, he only mines. And the mining he does, people contract him to mine. Why do you sit on TV or radio and say Ibrahim Mahama beji gold in yachire we Jimmy? Echire sebi o yakwateboto, echire unim nyansa, echire ebia ya bodua, ebia o sebre yasesa no, into unim nyansa unhu de ekọ. Because Ibrahim Mahama does not buy gold, Ibrahim Mahama does not sell gold. Ibrahim Mahama's company mines gold.